Welcome to Portsmouth Clipper football on Continental Cablevision Channel 12. We're at Gill Stadium in Manchester, where the Clippers will square off against the Little Green from Central High School. I'm Scott Tranchmontaine, and Jay Childs joins me in the booth. We're all set to bring you exciting Clipper football action. Today's ball game is being brought to you by Shaw's, bringing you quality, naturally, and by Bicycle Bobs. They have what the champions ride. Last week, the Clippers outpowered the Memorial Crusaders by a score of 28-7. Here's Jay to show you how it happened.
Well, last week, the Clippers at Winnicott Alumni Field, they opened the scoring in the second quarter. It looked like it was going to be a big play day again, all over again. It looks familiar. Jim Pafford to Jamie Hinton, beats double coverage and goes in for the first touchdown of the day for the Clippers, 7-0. Let's take a look at the play one more time, and you're going to notice that Jeff White is the one who will be blocking two potential Memorial pass rushers right there. Takes them out of the play, opens up Jamie Hinton deep, who broke away from coverage late, holds onto the ball, and brings it in for a touchdown. The point after was good by Butch Dobney, and the score was 7-0. Take a look at the ensuing kickoff now, as Dobney punches it deep as he's been doing all season long. Keep your eye on Jeff Gray, number 36. The hit comes hard as he has an open field solo tackle, and that pinned Memorial deep in their own territory. As it turned out, however, unfortunately, that would be his last great play of the season, with the signature pump of the arm by Jeff Gray, as he had to leave the game on the ensuing play. Late in the first half, at the close of the first half, Memorial drove the ball down to the goal line, but then there was a fumble, and Brian Hare came up with the ball. Later, however, Rockwell goes deep to Caplet and runs it in for Memorial, as they are able to tie the ball game up at that point, 7-7. Take a look at the replay again as he broke away from Jeff White. However, on the next play, it was capped off by a three-point plunge by Jeff White, broken early in the first quarter. And the extra point was good, and Portsmouth regained the lead 14-7. Jeff White didn't score on the next touchdown for Portsmouth, but on 3 carries, he rushed the ball for 30 yards to set up the 2-yard score. You'll see White and the Clippers keep running the ball over on the left side. On his last carry, White was bumped out at the 2, setting up a second down and goal on the 2-yard line. From there, Mike Schatzabel came in to punch it in from the 2 for the score.
There's a look at that last great play by White, Jay, and here's Schatzabel right up through the middle. Great hole.
They found that left side all day, and from there he was able to punch it in the middle, and Portsmouth had it one more time. Of course, the point after touchdown was good by Butch Dobney, and the Clippers were now up by a score of 21-7.
We're going to get a look at that point after by Butch. Interesting to note, Dobney is 8 for 8 now on the season. He has yet to miss a point after. He hasn't had any field goal opportunities, though.
Schatzabel certainly earned every bit of his next touchdown. With about 4 minutes left in the game, Pafford hands off to him, executes the option to perfection, pitches to Schatzabel on the left side, and just before getting leveled, he scrambled 38 yards, bowling over not 1, but 2 Crusader defensive backs for the score. And as you can see, Schatzabel just would not be taken down. Pafford, a good job getting the pitch off just at the last minute. Bowls over one tackle, bowls over another tackle, keeps his feet in bound, maintains the body control, and goes in for really the play of the day.
It was beautiful to watch, and you got to credit Pafford with hanging in there right till the end.
The Clippers celebrated a 28-7 lead on Butch Dobney's extra point. And then Memorial just could not recover, and appropriately the Clippers finished the game with a sack of Billy Rockwell. 28-7 victory preserved, and theirs heading into this week's game against Central.
And we've got a pretty good ball game here. We've got the Portsmouth High School Clippers at 2-0, the Central Little Green at 0-2. Central could be a real pesky team today, according to Coach Dobney. They've been blown out by Spalding and by Concord, their first 2 ball games. But Coach Dobney is not looking past them.
Well, in the first 2 games, even though Spalding got by them 36-0, and then last week at Concord, 35-8. Both ball games, Scott, they hung around well into the second half. They were able to keep the score. I remember against Concord, it was 13-0 at the half, but there was a late touchdown in the first half. For most of the first half, it was 7-0. So they hang around, and the Clippers have really let teams stay into the game into the third quarter. So this is a game I'm sure that they would like to really stack up the points and get it over with early, especially with this rain.
There's a look at some of the captains out for the coin toss, and when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff. This ball game, Portsmouth Clippers against the Central Little Green. Join us in a moment. We're back, and we're just about ready for our national anthem before the opening kickoff. Central Marching Band. Central Little Green Marching Band, and we're ready for action. The Little Green have won the kickoff, won the coin toss, so they'll receive the kickoff. And back to receive is John Schiavone, and the up men are Nick Holquin. Holquin will stand back there with Schiavone. Both will probably see a lot of action at running back today, Jay.
Certainly, and they seem to be a team that really does like to keep it on the ground, and that plays into the type of weather conditions we have today.
Schiavone fields at his 10. He's got a wedge. He's going right up the middle, still on his feet, and taken down right about the 33-yard line.
You could see just for a minute the opening until Jim Hogan got in there for the Clippers and was able to bring him down.
Chris Sorrell also went on that tackle.
Take a look at the defense for the Clippers stepping out onto the field. They are the second, as far as points allowed, the second best defense in Class L. They've only allowed 13 points all season, which is second to Londonderry, who have only allowed 6.
Matt Benson is the quarterback on first down and 10. Hands to Holquin, and Holquin is stuffed up on the right side.
Looking at that right side, you can see Memorial last week spent much of the first half just sort of running both sides, trying to figure out which side would maybe have a hole. They found a couple, but after a while, the Clippers just punched it down, and it doesn't look like there's going to be too many holes on that line, especially with the size differential between Central and Portsmouth.
Well, over on that side, you've got Lance Pereira and Michael Dowd, two stalwarts on defense for the Clippers. The whole defensive unit for Portsmouth has just played exceptional. They've given up one touchdown per game in their first 2 games. On second down, about 7, the pitch goes to Delisle, and Delisle is turned aside on the right side. They tried to go again on the right side, and the Clippers cornerbacks came up to make the tackle.
Great tackle by Schatzabel as he came in and was able to shake his man about 10 yards downfield and then come up and make the tackle.
Mike Schatzabel going both ways today, Jay, but he also has an injury to think about.
He's got a bruised left thigh, which he sustained in the game and has pretty much carried it all week. He's almost back to 100%, but if he takes a good shot in there, he's going to be hurting. You can see how he's heavily taped.
Call it 3rd and 5 for Memorial. They're in a passing situation, sending out 3 receivers. Benson hasn't had a lot of chance to pass this year. He's rolling out, throws across his body, and they couldn't hold on to it. That was Dana Royal.
Yeah, rollout fake, executed perfectly, and Dana Royal was standing there all alone, and it looks like Benson just sort of stared at him for a while and then threw the pass high. If he had quickly gunned that pass to him on the run, they had some openings.
I still think it was a catchable ball, but I think Royal saw some Clippers sneaking up on him.
And the tackle put in, even though he didn't catch the ball, the tackle put in with authority.
Heard those footsteps, as they like to say.
Well, 3 and out on the first series for the Central Little Green. And they're going to have to get the ball punted away. Portsmouth with a good opportunity for a good field position.
High snap goes over Holquin's head. He's back at his 5-yard line. He's going to try and run, but he's down with the ball.
Flag is down, however, back up by the 38-yard line of Central. And we'll have to take a look at that. There might have been some motion. Somebody might have left early. And we'll see.
Right at the line of scrimmage, Jay. Holquin really never had a chance to gather in that snap. It went right over his head.
over his head. And we'll wait for the reading on the penalty. I believe it is against Central.
So double doom for the Little Green. The Clippers will start first down and 10. It's motion. And it's declined.
Certainly don't want to give them another opportunity. That was just fine for the Clippers. They'll take that.
Call it first and goal from the 6-yard line.
And on a day like this, when field position is going to be at a premium with the sloppy conditions, if you can get a gift like this inside the 10, take it in.
We've had, as far as the weather, we've had intermittent rain. It was raining heavily during the pregame, and now it seemed to have tapered off. There's a slight breeze blowing in Portsmouth's favor right now at Jim Pafford's back. Pafford hands to Schatzabel. Schatzabel bowling his way down to about the 2-yard line. Still up now, gang tackled, but I think with forward motion, they'll give him right about the 2.
He may have gained forward motion all the way to the 1, actually. It looked as though he was going to break about 5 tackles before he went in. And they're testing the Central right up the middle early, and so far it's paying off.
Mike Schatzabel last week, 141 yards, averaging 7.7 yards per carry. Just a tremendous afternoon. 2 touchdowns, that 38-yarder that we showed you, bumping over 2 men. Up the middle, Jeff White, and he's turned back.
Boy, Jeff White hammered at the 2-yard line. Looks like the tackle was made by Kevin Delaney. As he came up, and Jeff White tried to leap over the pile and was met there by Delaney. And but he did get forward progress pretty much back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and goal.
3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line.
The problem with Schatzabel piling up that kind of yardage and being the workhorse of the backfield is now he has to go 2 ways with Jeff Gray not in there. So we'll see if maybe Coach Dobney breaks up the carries a little more this week.
Pafford, and we have a touchdown as he handed off to Jeff White, and he rumbled over the right side. He was hit, and on the little spin move, he broke the plane for the touchdown.
As a matter of fact, Scott, his body never got into the end zone, just his arm.
At 8:44, so early touchdown for the Clippers. All set up by that muffed punt. The snap went over Nick Holquin's head, and call it a 6-yard scoring drive.
And now Butchie Dobney will try to keep his streak intact. We never intended to get this streak going, but he's perfect.
Clears it well over the bleachers and across the street. So 7-0 lead for the Clippers with 8:44 to go in this first quarter. A 1-yard scoring strike by Jeff White.
And it didn't take them long. They got the ball, as we said, on a free gift on the 8-yard line, rolled it right to instantly to the 2, and then finally White finds his way over into the end zone.
Let's see if we can get that for you on the replay. Here it is.
And it looks as though for Central, we haven't got him down on our roster, but number 35 tried to get an arm tackle on White, and he just broke right by him.
That was a good extension by Jeff. He, like you say, Jay, he never got his body in, but he extended the ball in with his arm, and that's all you have to do is break the plane.
Well, that's a good thing. If you see an opening only with your arm, pound the ball into the end zone. If you fumble it, it doesn't matter, because once the ball hits the ground, the play's dead.
So a quick lead for the Clippers, 7-0. And Butch Dobney getting ready to kick the ball off from his 40.
It's almost as if the Clippers won the toss and had the opening drive of the game.
And got the ball on the 6 to start. Fielded by Holquin at his 15, still on his feet, and tackled from behind. Goes down about the 35-yard line.
Boy, nice tackle there by Richard Stroh as he got in there, and looks as though he was going to blow by him, but just at the last minute, caught his legs with his arms and brought him down.
Defensively, Jay, you saying the Clippers have only given up, let's see, they gave up 6 points in their opening game and 7 points in their second game, so 13 points overall. That is, of course, good for second in Class L. I believe it's Londonderry that's only given up less.
Yeah, Londonderry only has 6 points that they've given up all season long.
Central keeps it on the ground, but nothing doing.
Tackle made by Paul Higgins, who is starting today for Pettis, who's out with a sprained ankle. We don't know how much duty or any duty that Pettis will see today, but Higgins is in there to start and will be in there for most of the game.
That was Dana Royale. That time, Royal tried to go on the left side as Central, on their first series of downs, realized that the right side wasn't going to work for them, at least not at this stage of the game.
And they might be trying out to see if Higgins is in there and not Pettis this week, if there's any sort of an opening there. Obviously, that was answered quickly on the last play.
2nd and 10. Benson will put it to the air. Has his receiver, that's Delisle. That's the twin brother. That's Gary Delisle, twin brother of Mike Delisle.
Nice two-step drop by Benson as he saw the pressure coming. If they've been watching tapes of past games with Portsmouth, they get a good pass rush, and Coach Dobney's been really happy with the Portsmouth pass rush, and that's how you beat it. Don't waste any time. Don't depend on the pocket. 2 steps and throw.
Good for 9 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 1. Actually, less than a yard. It's about a half yard. The ball is spotted right on the 45-yard line. Matt Benson at QB calling the signals. Hands off up the middle to John Schiavone, and I don't think he got it. He got back to the line of scrimmage, Jay.
And with that type of tackle, too, the referees are not bound to give you a whole lot of forward progress as he was met hard.
Oh, look at that spot.
By Neil Robbins. And I don't know if I agree with that.
If we can get a shot of the ball in the field, it's quite a generous spot by the referees, and if they bring the chains out to measure, I think they'll have it.
And he was met quickly by Robbins. I mean, there was no doubt about it. There was no hole there to exploit.
So here come the chains. It was 3rd and less than a yard. And as you can see, they got it by the length of a football.
So it'll be a 1st down for Central. We were talking about the defense being the stalwart right now for the Clippers. They've also scored quite a bit, 56 and 13, 56 points for them and 13 against, whereas Central is way down there at the bottom of Class L. They've only scored 8 points all season, and they've given up 71.
5 teams deadlocked at 2-0 in Class L: Merrimack, Trinity, Portsmouth, Londonderry, and Concord. Londonderry looks real strong this year, having moved up to Class L for the first time. Benson under some pressure, airs it out, and it's caught, but taken down for a loss is Kevin Delaney.
2 great plays on that. The pressure by Connors and Brian Hare, who looks like he did sort of an end around before he made the tackle, was faked out once, but came back and made the tackle.
Benson looks like he has a pretty good arm. He's getting the ball to his receivers pretty accurately.
And except for his opening pass, he's not wasting any time. He's stepping out and throwing to his sides. Now, if he keeps doing that all day, Portsmouth is going to figure it out, and he's going to have to learn how to throw more over the middle.
Coach Dobney said he really didn't know too much about Benson because he hadn't really had a chance to do anything in his first 2 ball games. Schiavone breaks a hole and picks up about 5. There's a flag in the backfield.
Flag thrown in the backfield, and we'll have to wait and see.
7-0, Portsmouth on top. 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're at Gill Stadium.
And there's a conference. It looks as though it may be against Central.
You can see the mud on the field here at Gill Stadium. This is one of your all-purpose arenas. Goes baseball and football. I think they even play some soccer here. And that mud is, well, you put the ball, it's right about where Marty Barrett would be playing. Second base. They're right in the infield.
And that'll make it about a 2nd and 16 for Central on the penalty.
So Little Green in a pass play again. And Benson rolling out under pressure, and he fumbles, but it's picked up by his own man and taken down for a loss. Is number 65, and that's Randy Parker. He was lucky to be right there and got the bounce.
Kind of got the ball and had to turn his way upfield, but once again, pressure by the Clippers, and Dobney was talking about that before the game, Coach Dobney. They've been getting that all year, and the size differential between Central and the Clippers is really starting to show as Benson has nowhere to go the minute he steps back.
That's the key to any quarterback. You could have Dan Marino back there, and if you get the pass rush in on him, then he's going to have trouble.
And Marino makes up for it, of course, with that incredible release.
Call it 3rd and 22. Benson on a 7-step drop under heavy pressure. Again, he's leveled, but the ball is caught. And we've got a flag, probably a roughing the passer, as Benson was leveled.
Yeah, I think they're going to call it on Petruzzi, as Robbins pretty much had him after he released the ball. He had progress into the quarterback, but Petruzzi, they're saying, might have gotten a little out of hand.
That should be an automatic 1st down. The ball was caught, and They still didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Excuse me, Scott, that's a bad play for the Clippers if that ends up being the case, because, I mean, it was 3rd and 20.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 22. And now it's 1st and 10 for Memorial up at the 49-yard line.
I mean, you want to get pressure on your quarterback, but once the play is over, you don't want to risk a personal foul, especially when you really should be getting the ball back in decent field position.
So a new life for the Little Green. Although, you know, Benson will be thinking a couple times when he sees Petruzzi coming at him again. Intimidation factor is always a big part of the game.
And now we're going to have an official's timeout as they reset the...
Trying to get the chains.
Yeah, they had 3rd down still, and now they're resetting it to 1st down. And it was the umpire, Dan Drunick, who had the wherewithal to make that call. We'll run over the rest of the officials in a moment.
Benson, hands off and up the middle, nowhere to go for Mike Delisle.
Met right at the line of scrimmage by Lance Pereira. So they're still trying to work the ball up the middle, but nothing doing.
Well, we've seen now they've tried the right side, they tried the left side, now they've tried up the middle, and it looks like Central is going to have to try something very different to get their running game going. So far, the Clippers have been to the task. 2nd and a long 9. Looked like motion by Central on the pitch. Trying to get around the left side, taken down after a pickup of about 3 yards.
And it looks as though another flag goes down.
That was Mike Delisle. I thought I saw motion on the Central side over on the right side of the line, but
it didn't look as though the flag went down until later, and...
Yeah, it looked like the flag on the tackle.
And actually, it was just a loose flag. They're picking it up now, and there was no play. The referee for today will be Mike Gillis. Umpire, as we mentioned before, is Dan Drunick. Line judge will be Russ Mays, and Gil Thorne will be our linesman for this afternoon's contest.
3rd down and 6. Mike Delisle is the lone back in the field. There's the pitch. Delisle has a little bit of room, but Butch Dobney coming up can't hold on to him. Delisle cuts inside, and he still comes up short of the 1st down, taken down by Schatzabel.
2 missed tackles that time by the Clippers, giving Delisle a little extra yardage on the play. But the nice thing about the Clippers is, and we saw it on the last play, is that if one man misses the tackle, there's always another Clipper right there to back him up. And a lot of times you'll see a team that if he beats the first 2 people, he's gone, and there's a big opening. But the Clippers do a very good job spreading out their defense and getting really blanket coverage so that there's no gaping open holes.
On 4th down and about 2.5 yards, the Little Green will go for it. Benson goes to Schiavone, and Schiavone has the 1st down. He really shut up through that hole. Good speed up the middle.
Yeah, they handed the ball off well. Benson just gave it right to him, and just for the first time this afternoon, there was a hole up the middle.
But Schiavone really shot through it. Saw his hole and just with a burst of speed got through.
Looks as though Dave Farron was one of the ones who opened up that hole, as he's playing at left tackle.
So 1st and 10 for the Little Green. Ball on their 37, on the Clippers 37. There's Schiavone again, and he lost his footing as he was trying to turn the corner. Picked up maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Well, it looks as though as a result of Farron, even though he came more towards the center, opening that hole on 4th down, they decided to run his way and see if he could find a hole that time on the left side, and there wasn't much of one, and only a 2-yard gain. And now they're about where Jody Reed would be playing.
Yep, 2nd and a long 7 if he was deep in the hole. Benson to Schiavone again, and he's stacked up and taken for a loss.
Boy, that time the Clippers, Chris Sorrell in on the tackle.
Jay Brewster as well.
That's going to set up a long 3rd down yardage situation. We really haven't seen the secondary of the Clippers tested very much this afternoon. The only time he's gone back to pass have been those screen passes, but we haven't seen any test of the secondary downfield. This may be the situation.
3rd and 6, Benson under pressure. And Sorrell has his hands on him. Benson fumbled, and they're going to say that the ball is down. So partial a sack to Chris Sorrell.
Excellent play in two reasons. Sorrell came in and had the sack, but he also stripped the ball. You could see he went in for the sack with his arms flailing down on Benson, trying to strip that ball loose, and unfortunately they just called him down beforehand.
So on 3rd down and 7, Sorrell sacks Matt Benson, and on the sack, the ball is placed back at the 47-yard line. It's 4th down and quite a long ways. Nick Holquin will try and field the snap this time and get the punt off.
Pafford and Malinowski will be back for the Clippers.
Pretty good punt by Holquin, fielded by Butchie Dobney, and Dobney is tackled. He tried to get to the outside, but in doing so, he was tackled as he was moving laterally across the field, taken down at the 16.
Excuse me, it was Butch Dobney and Malinowski back for the punt. But Central basically got out of that what they wanted, pinned them deep in their own territory. And you talked about the footing today, and Coach Dobney said he was going to try to open the game up early, a little more, maybe some more passing. The footing doesn't seem to be too bad. We haven't gotten the rain that we thought we would, but on a field like this that has a lot of dirt with a baseball field, could present a problem if it begins raining.
Pafford wants to go to the air, dumps it off, and a reception to Jeff White. Gets the ball up to about the 26-yard line. There are 20 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 7-0, Portsmouth on top.
Yeah, Pafford was looking downfield. He wanted to hit Sorrell, but Sorrell had blanket coverage by Schiavone and Delaney, and there was nothing down there, so he had to go to plan B.
Looks like the Clippers will run out the clock and take a 7-0 lead into the second quarter. 2-1, that is it. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is the Portsmouth Clippers 7, the Manchester Central Little Green 0. We'll take a break and we'll have second quarter action for you right after this. On second thought, we'll keep it right here. So a pretty good first quarter, Jay, for the Clippers. They got their touchdown. It was really set up on a Central mistake. We haven't seen a lot of ball control. Actually, Central had possession for most of the quarter.
8:44, the mark in the first quarter when White went 1 yard. And it was set up, like we said, inside the 10 by that missed punt attempt over the head of Holquin. And that's really all the offense that we've had. It's just been basically back and forth.